Good evening once again. Welcome to Minority Caucus, the show that gives the New Patriotic Party the platform to speak to the people of Ghana. My name is Nana Kofi Opon Damwa, and today we are discussing electoral rigging, or the politics of monetization. We've just finished an election which the New Patriotic Party is challenging the results through a petition before the Supreme Court. But what really... Okay, now, Sylvester, I want to start with you. First of all, you know, we had a lot of stories coming from your constituency and everything. Let's take it one by one. I want you to have 10, 15 minutes. Tell us exactly what it is that happened in your constituency before, during, and after the elections.
Well, thank you very much. Let me say a very good evening to our viewers, most especially the people of Ningo Prampram, the chiefs and the good people of Ningo Prampram. And let me single out my constituency chairman, the constituency executives, my coordinators, and then all the volunteers that came to my aid in Ningo Prampram. Well, in the run-up to 2008 elections, before the elections, I was a constituency secretary. I know the terrain very well, and I know my people. I knew I was going to win the elections. No two ways about that. Until Honorable UT Mensah mysteriously won the NDC primaries. Of course, he saw me from a distance, the way I was campaigning and how I was putting out the issues. I made the 2008 campaign issue-based in Ningo Prampram. That Ningo Prampram has been a no-go area for any other person apart from Honorable UT Mensah and the NDC. But I said, hey, no, this is not the way we have to be going all the time. So I was campaigning. I made it an issue-based, but not knowing he had a different agenda altogether. That this election is about how much money you have and how much you can buy your way through. Beyond the monetization of the whole process, there came the force, the brute force of langas, the machoism in the elections. But my brother, and to the good people of Ghana, I think it's a very, very sad one for all of us as young politicians and for a growing democracy like that of Ghana, that we're reducing our body politics to monetization and use of brute force on the good people that go to vote. Beyond that, people were deliberately frustrated from even voting and all that. Myself, I was threatened at one point in time, a police officer, that I introduced myself. I'm the parliamentary candidate. He said, so what? If you don't leave here, I'll get you arrested. I said, you joking? These were, I'm just giving a highlight of the happenings in Ningo Prampram. But coming to the realities on the ground, my brother, Honorable UT Mensah, and today I'll be so much surprised if he's considered for any ministerial position at all in the NDC. Seriously, then I will say that the president, or for that matter, the powers that be in the NDC, also so much aware of the happenings in Ningo Prampram. If you look at Ningo Prampram and the deprivation in Ningo Prampram, I still have a member of parliament who understands and spends billions of cedis to get elected, yet the people in his own native Prampram, people go to the beach, they don't have a KVIP or toilet facility. There's no single library anywhere in Ningo Prampram, yet they don't find it prudent that you use these monies to be able to solve the problems of the people. If you come to Ningo Prampram when I was growing up, the only vocational school in the community, RTC in Prampram, is collapsed. Yet they find solace in the what we call it, less depth. They bring sewing machines, you bring hair dryers, and all sort of money, and dole out to people. Meanwhile, the vocational school, which is the center of training for all these vulnerable young people, is collapsed. Okay. It's still in Ningo Prampram. Coming to the election itself.
Sly, I want you to address, you've mentioned three major things, and I want us to tackle them one by one. First of all, I want you to give us specifics on monetization. What exactly happened with money?
Yes. In these elections, even on the day of voting, UT Mensah publicly called people and asked them, what does this young man has to give you? When you go out on a key feet and follow him and campaign, does he give you money? Come, I'll give you money. On the day of voting, he brought food packs, drinks, he was sharing it. In the box was money. He was giving out to people in the queue.
You know how much?
Some 20 cedis, some 10 cedis, some 50 cedis. In the queue.
As people were standing in the
line. As people were standing in the queue. They put the money in a pack of food and drink. Ask people from Ningo Prampram. I saw it. I complained to the police officers, if I don't shut up, she'll get me arrested. I said, wow, a police officer, the custodian of the law, is supposed to protect lives and property. This is what she was telling me.
Okay. Any more instances?
The instances were grievous. Central University, RLG laptops. You know, Central University has a campus in Ningo, Prampram. Right. RLG laptops, just calling the students to his house by the day. On the eve of the elections, the presiding officers, he called everybody to his home. What happened? Rumors of 500 Ghana cedi each to each of them in the constituency. I'm so sad. A lot more people under the guy using abuse of Maslock. Abuse of Maslock. His wife, the third wife he has today, then the girl was the girlfriend, was in charge and still in charge of the Maslock. So to access the Maslock loan, you have to produce an NDC card, be an NDC member, line up people using the Maslock loan as a bait. These are open secret in Ningo Prampram. And excuse me to say, the lady managing the Maslock loan has never gone past JSS. And she is the one. He's married to the girl today.
That's a very interesting allegation.
Yes, I'm telling you, she did not go past JSS. And she is the Maslock coordinator in Ningo Prampram.
The third wife of E.T.
The third wife of E.T. Mensah. It's an open secret. They just have a baby. They just have a baby. My brother. So the Maslock loan was at disposal. The Lex debt was at their disposal. And all sort of funding. 4 years. From between 2009 to 2012. There's no single thing E.T. Mensah has done in the Ningo Prampram constituency. For 16 years, no library, nothing for the youth in the constituency. It's so appalling. So I went on a campaign to educate the youth. I said, look, we have to follow this young man. That's how come formerly Ningo Prampram, the maximum vote we had in Ningo Prampram was about 6,000. He knew he had lost the election. Fairly, if we had to go to this election fairly, there's no way anybody would have voted for him.
Okay, let me
threatening people with money, vote buying, rigging, and all kind of antics.
Okay, let me bring in justice at this point. This is a very, very sad tale. I'm aware that the political party's law states carefully that all of these things that he speaks about are illegalities, are irregularities that should not happen in an election. A minister is doing this.
Thank you very much, my brother. I'll take this opportunity to say good evening to our viewers. For my absence, I'm back. And this time around, I'm going to be a bit regular. First of all, then secondly, I will take the opportunity to congratulate my friend here who made an attempt at the Ningo Prampram seat. Basically, when he started putting his campaign together to actually go and contest the seats, he used to come to me, at my office. He's a very good friend of mine. We are very close. He comes to me, we share ideas and all that. But then when we finish the conversation and he goes away, I, was having doubt in my mind as to how a young guy, of his stature could decide to take on that
Mugabe,
Ningo Prampram Mugabe. So I was having a little bit of that, though, he's very eloquent, very, resourceful and all that. And he went to the elections, and the way he performed, actually proved to me that he is a potential for the party and basically for Ghana as a whole. So even though he didn't win the seat, I believe he did a very good job, and he needs to be congratulated. And then coming back to the issue on the table, you see, our people, as a nation, Ghana, I think we need to do a very serious introspection and make sure we bring about policies and programs that will enable majority of our masses to get educated. Because it is very sad to, the things that he has enumerated. I have had the opportunity to live in a democracy as Britain. And when it is time for political campaigning and on the day of elections and all that, if you are working, you go to work as an ordinary day. When the votes are being counted, whatever, you don't really care. You go to work, you get paid, and you move on, irrespective of which political party that is in power. And I'm, bringing in this to actually drum home the simple fact that a well-educated society is a society that is very difficult for the populace to be deceived and be taken undue advantage of and be moved around at every election cycle. And this is basically what I see to be happening, mostly on the African continent and in our case, Ghana here. Because NDC, as a political party, is a party that has always pride, and they continue to pride themselves in having their core base being, uneducated. I mean, I'm not the one sitting here to say this. You hear they are, party executives and stalwarts saying that they are for the common people and all that, but that is a facade behind which they capitalize on the illiteracy and ignorance of the Ghanaian masses to actually move them about. Because this were the people, now they speak and you listen to them and they speak as if they haven't been in power. All the problems that Ghana is being confronted with at the moment started when MPP took power in 2008. So these elections, well, I didn't participate. He participated in the election. He has enumerated his personal experience. I was also here. I followed the processes. And you realize that the issue of monetization and abuse of incumbency was very, very pronounced. And these are the very same people who, when they were in opposition, were speaking about things of that nature. And I remember the president himself, John Mahama, under the guise of what we call, when we unfortunately lost our certain president, Arthur Mills, John Mahama, at that moment, capitalized on the situation at the time, and used the nation resources and went around campaign under the guise of what we call it, Thank You Talk.
Yeah.
He went about doing all that. And then on the day of election, like my brother, who actually took part in the election, has enumerated, sharing of, and even during their, what we call it, primaries, parliamentary primaries, you heard some of them, like Honorable Tenya Uno, he came out, some of the people, some of the contestants in the water region, they came out and leveled a whole lot of allegations against personalities as Okujeto and his people for using money to actually, buy the votes and making sure they lost and all that. As a result, most of them went independent. So you see, NDC, I've always said this, and I continue to say it. When it comes to rudiments of governance, NDC as a political entity has had absolutely no clue, how to govern a nation and make sure that the
development seek.
Yeah, and the welfare of the people is actually tackled. NDC is a political party that has never been concerned with that. All what they are good at is, like Vincent Assis said, the late, their former general secretary. Yeah, he came out publicly and said that NDC as an entity is not a political party, but rather an election machine. And even their election machine is not a proper machine that goes into elections and hopes to, what we call it, win election fairly. They go in there and always try to maneuver, put in place schemes that will always, twist and turn, the elections and all that in whichever way possible so that they can gain power. And at the end of the day, the ordinary citizens' problem will still remain, while the few of them go about,
their duties,
doing their duties and doing what they want.
Money.
Yeah, and you compare that to MPP, and you realize there's a complete different ball game. Okay. MPP has always, MPP believes in fairness, decency and openness.
Let me stop you here at this point, and then I'll go take a break.
Right.
When I come back, we'll look at the alternatives. But for me, the striking points that all of you have made in this first segment is that, as a nation, do we deserve to be governed by people who are interested in the development of the country? or by people who are interested in power for the sake of power? Think on these words.
Lovely.
Introducing the all-new quality LCD TV, the most affordable LCD TV in town, built with you in mind. With inbuilt DVD combo player, you don't need a separate DVD player. USB memory input for truly multimedia capability. This TV can be used as a computer screen and comes with a free wall mount worth 80 Ghana cedis, but yours for free. And for the first time, inbuilt surge protection against power fluctuation. Quality TVs won't break down when the power surges. 24, 32 and 42-inch models starting at just 650 Ghana cedis. Also available on hire purchase to all government employees, police, army personnel and the general public for as low as 99 Ghana cedis per month. Call 0302-242-532 or 0204-413-484. Watch the African Cup of Nations in style on a quality TV.
News Generation, Sundays, Multi-TV for Kids channel, 3:30 p.m. Join News channel, 4 p.m.
Welcome back to Minority Caucus. Today we're discussing political monetization, or the soft rigging sides of elections in this country. The question we should ask ourselves is that, do elections in this country matter? Does the integrity of the elections that we hold in this country matter? If they do, then why should we not have truly free, fair, and credible elections in this country? Now, let me come back to you, Mr. Newton. I want you to address your minds to the fact that we've all come to accept the fact that there's heavy monetization of the political system. I want you to look at the implications of that. Does that mean that the money that is supposed to be available for development is no longer there? Does that mean that, you know, our people cannot develop so long as they continue to kowtow to such things? What exactly are the permutations in there?
Yeah, thank you very much. And that was what I was talking about, our people, you know, making sure our people get educated. Because when the person is educated and he can read between the lines, when you come to him to come and tell him or her lies, they will always be able to, you know, sift the wheat from the chaff. And at the end of the day, their decisions at the polls will always be dictated by issues presented to them during electioneering campaign. But this doesn't seem to be, you know, what we see at the moment. And then, like, you cast your mind back to the electioneering campaign, for example. MPP as a political entity came up with a whole lot of policy alternatives. And the flag bearer of the party, Nana Addo, on several occasions gave, you know, serious policy statements on what he, you know, was going to, you know, do.
More than 10.
More than 10 of them on various policy areas, you know. And the NDC and John Mahama were just going about and, you know, KK. And before then, before Nana Addo came up with this free HS policies, our NDC's style of political campaigning had always been on personalities, you know, character. And if you remember, you know, beginning of the year, they came out openly and said their then candidate, Atta Mills, was a saint and all that. And for that matter, the whole electioneering campaign was going to be centered on characters of the flag bearers.
Okay.
You know, and then unfortunately we lost him. And Nana Addo came up with the free education, which, you know, got down very well with the people. And they, the alternative to the policy of free SHS was that it couldn't be done.
Okay,
so
let's
that
practicalize it. Sly,
right.
what were you promising the people of Ningo Prampram?
Well, my brother, is quite simple.
Yeah.
My message is based on education and youth empowerment. There are about 7 villages in Ningo Prampram. Children there don't go to school. You have to
Hold on.
Yeah. Standing revelations.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact. You see, you have to be about 10, 12 years before you'll be able to go to school.
Why?
The proximity, the distance.
Before you go to class 1.
Yes, you have to be about 12 years to be able to walk that distance to access education. So by the time you are 10, 12 years, you've lost interest in education. All you need to do is quite simple. Put crèche and nursery in those villages. Get teachers from the mainland. Just get a motorbike to go teach them and come back. Solar energy can just provide them electricity at those villages. It doesn't cost anything. Whereas I was going on in Ningo Prampram, I had about 81 children in class 1 who voted. They are more than 18 years. 81 children in class 1 in various schools in Ningo Prampram, and they voted in these elections. I'm telling you. The only community school we have, Ningo has over 82 villages. The community secondary school, the indigenes in the school are less than 30%. I see a very bleak future for my community. Whereas I'm doing all this, somebody is out there. Just go and buy cement. When somebody dies, he doesn't care about development.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's no single library, ICT center anywhere in Ningo Prampram.
Okay, so you're saying that you are promising them crèche, you are promising them a library.
You know, for me, it's a coastal community.
Yeah.
What I was telling them is to establish crèche in those areas. And then to promote agriculture. To promote agriculture, my main concern was to establish an a mechanization center out there, which is, of course, is a central government policy to promote agriculture. After doing that, get them a market. There's no market anywhere. So when we get our farm produce, we have to transport it to Accra. There's no economic base for the people. Once they have the farm produce, create a market for them and create an economic base. For me, these things are not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's
Very
brains.
practical. Yeah.
It's practical things. These things are not beyond bounds. And I was promising IT center and ICT centers in major communities out there. The last BEC, over 70% of the schools do not take part in ICT examinations. Why? Because it looks like a monstrous animal somewhere for them. These are realities on the ground. Toilet facilities are non-existent. Sanitation, road network, water. You understand? So the pain in my heart is about the kids who don't go to school. The pain in my heart. We have over 73% dependency ratio in Ningo Prampram. Why? There are no jobs. There's nothing for the people. Nobody is advocating for them. I don't know if you know Ningo Prampram very well.
No, I don't.
I'll take you there. A very nice and interesting place.
Yeah.
When you go to Prampram today, many people are saying Prampram is developed. It is not developed because of its proximity to Tema and Accra. Okay. Many people are buying prime beach lands, putting up fantastic buildings out there, but the indigenous people are still suffering. They are not going to school. So what they do every election, use the resources that belongs to the community. My checks gives me over 6 billion for NP in various funds in the 4 years. You could have started doing some project for these people. 7 communities children don't go to school. How much does it cost to put up a crèche? My foundation, Sylvester Tete Foundation, is in the offing. And I'm going to solicit for funds and support these communities, even in opposition. An ICT center and a library for main Ningo to support the children in education. My heartbeat is to see my colleagues going to school. You know one thing? I completed JSS in 1994. We were 196. Only 3 of us made it to secondary school. Okay. So when I'm talking about the free secondary education...
Hold on.
My brother.
Hold on. Tell me you're not joking.
I'm not joking. In 1994, 196 students completed the junior secondary school. Only 3 of us made it to secondary school.
What happened to the rest?
The whole of the
yes,
district.
the parent cannot afford. The parent cannot afford. So when I'm talking about free secondary education, I see my colleagues that I completed junior secondary school with. And today, some has as many as 9, 10 children. Yes, I'm telling you.
Look, you see, so the issues are so practical. So when Nanado is talking about free secondary education, and I said, oh my God, I pray to God. And indeed, Ghanaians voted for Nanado. But for people, heartless people, and stomach politicians in this country, it would have been a different story. Today, when you come to my house, if I tell you number of people who are lining up for support to go to school, you'll be shocked. People come and cry. People come and cry. Yet all people say, what is the big gege? You must be ashamed.
What nation?
Honorable Yiti Mensah, I encountered him in a program, and all he could say, he has 7 children, they are doctors, they are engineers, all of them living in the States. But I said to the community, this man could not find a word to say. I've supported one member of this community to this level. They are heartless. Very heartless.
You see, this is.
My brother, what is the essence of education and the essence of politics? If you cannot affect the lives of ordinary people and give them hope, what are you talking about? If that is what I would do, I must as well not go into politics at all.
You see, this is why, you know, I was talking, my brother is getting a bit emotional because he is on the ground and he actually...
If you stay in Accra and you don't... Look, Ningo Prampram, from Accra here, by 30 minutes, you are in Ningo Prampram. Yeah. It is not up there in the north.
It's basically part of Tema now.
It is part of Tema.
Basically part of
Tema. It is part of Tema.
One word, wickedness or sheer irresponsibility?
Both. Both. And I also think that somebody like Honorable Yiti Mensah has no plans for development whatsoever. Perhaps he doesn't know. So empty. Otherwise, you will not preside over these people for 16 years. You're going for 20 years, and this is all you have to show. I feel sorry. I feel sorry because the kind of caliber, his weight in government for all this while under Rollins. Look, the wife of the president came to Ningo Prampram. He asked him, oh, Yiti, I mean, it's so amazing. Really? So, I'm telling you. And Miss Arthur asked him, one out of the villages, how many of you will not vote for Yiti Mensah? Let me see, but everybody raised their hand. Then he went in there, brought all the money.
It means...
No, he knew how to get vulnerable people. It's about money. Yeah, so the question is, yes. So the monetization, we should keep talking about it.
Okay. Now, Mr. Nisha, I want you to address this. Why didn't the MPP use the same tactics?
You mean tactics of monetization or what? That's why
I'm using a basis that there's a very very old wise saying that everything is fair in love and in war. Yeah. All right. This was close to a situation of war. If this was what our opponent was doing, why didn't we do the same?
MPP is known for that kind of Kululu tactics. MPP believes in decency and fair deal. And that is why I said from the beginning that MPP, there is a belief, out there that MPP, when it comes to election, putting in place mechanism to win election, MPP has at times been found to be a little bit weak. But when they get the power and it comes to governance, they have always excelled. Because you look at before 2008, before 2000, when MPP gained power, then the party had been in opposition. I mean, their antecedent had been in opposition for close to 30 years. You understand? But the 8 years that they had, which they inherited HIPIC after almost 20 years uninterrupted rule by PNDC, the antecedent, yeah. The 8 years, look at the number of innovatives that MPP brought about, most of which were, fiercely resisted by the NDC at the time. So basically, like my brother is saying, how would you explain this simple thing? The man, Yiti Mensah, had been an MP over there for close to 20 years now. And from what my brother is, the account that he's given from the place doesn't seem to be developing. But anytime, there's an election, the man seems to win. So then you ask yourself whether the people are just happy being in that state of total deprivation or exactly what is wrong. And this is where I was talking about, you know, making sure our people are educated. Because when they are when a person is enlightened, you know, the person is always able to make decisions based on well, you know, informed issues at stake. But when the people, like he said, in his time, how many of you, 300 and something? 196 people went to sit for an examination, and only 3 of them were able to be successful, and the rest, some of them might have passed, all right, like he said, but they couldn't get access to, you know, secondary school education, largely because their parents couldn't afford. Okay. And this is why when we were talking about free SHS, and people were saying it could not be possible, I couldn't just understand. Because in Ghana here, personally, I have never seen a child, you know, who has qualified to go to a secondary school, and the parent has the money. The parent has the money in hand, and he's saying he can't, you know, get a placement for the child. It doesn't happen. I don't see it anywhere. The only complaints you always get is that they don't have money to send their children to school. Okay. You understand? So it is, we just need to educate our people, and I believe that will definitely do the trick. Okay. Yeah.
Welcome to my homeland, Ghana, the land where for lack of knowledge our people are perishing. I'll take a break and come back. Political monetization and what effect it has on our politics in Ghana is what we've been discussing. With me, Mr. Justice Newton Ofei and Mr. Sylvester Tete. Mr. Sylvester Tete was the NPP parliamentary candidate for the Ningo Prampram constituency, and Mr. Justice Abeko Newton Ofei, huge name, huge personality, is a political analyst. Now, I think that we've made our points. We've established it. I like, Sylvester, your passion a lot. And the people of Ghana should come to appreciate such things. But to you, what's the way forward? This is what has happened. The people are vulnerable to the antics of the Mugabes of our politics. What's the way forward?
Well, I think that we should keep pushing for reforms within our institutions as a country. That is the only way we can safeguard our integrity. But the sad thing is that most of our institutions are also falling prey to these kind of antics. And I think it's very, very sad. Today, somebody raised a Ghana Integrity Initiative. About SOEs buying airtime to congratulate the president. When we were going to the elections, companies were giving money to pro-John Mahama organizations in this country. So if you want to take solace in these state institutions, where are we going? But I want to tell you something. I have utmost trust in our judicial service, at least at the highest level, that they won't compromise their integrity for anything. So for me, I will continue to advocate for reforms within our institutions. And that is why I always pray for Nanado and support Nanado, Baumia, and Jacob Bechebilante for taking the bold initiative for going to court. That look, you can't always use money to get your way through. Again, let us continue to educate our people. For me, it's all about education. Apart from the formal education, informal education, we should keep doing it through the institutions. As a political party, we can continue to organize forums for organized groups. In this country, we can do that. So let our professionals put our ass together and let's continue. For instance, Christian Council, we can organize a workshop for them and bring people to educate all of us on some of the good things in our society. Otherwise, it's a big care where all they understand is to milk the system and get your way and get yourself entrenched in government. For me, the future looks very, very bleak. Look at all the young men that are talking today. They cite themselves as examples. All the example is that we've made so much money. I remember in 2002, when there was this pandemic about the cyber fraud in this country. Okujetwa, Fifikwete, Sakawa, all of them lined up. And all they could tell the world, look at us. We are not in Sakawa. but today we are young ministers. But their kind of activities are more than the Sakawa boys in our cyber cafes. Because if they start mentioning their properties in this country, you'll run away. Compare them to the Sakawa. They are more than Sakawa boys in our country today. To the extent that the allegations are coming from within. And very soon, we'll begin to expose them one after the other.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Newton, he says that education is the key and that we need to focus as a nation on what our priorities are. Your opinion on the way forward?
Yeah, seriously, education, I seriously believe in making sure our people are educated, because like I said, when a person is well educated, then he or she will always be in a better position to decipher issues that are brought before them, so that when they go to the polls at every election year, they will be able to make the best choices. And to end on this note, according to the figures that we have on this just ended elections, the turnout was almost 80%, which is quite unprecedented. It hasn't happened in our nation's history before. And a day before the elections, that was a night before the elections, around 7, 8 in the evening before the election day, you see people queuing at polling stations, spending the night there and all that to be able to cast their votes. Now tell me, do you think people would have gone through all those hassle
just to endorse the regime?
Yeah, to endorse the regime and to vote for Idebi Keke. Yep. When most of those people who went out to vote are basically needy people, economically disenfranchised people who would also like to see their wards becoming ministers, presidents, and medical doctors and all that, when they don't have the money to push their kids through school. You think such people will go and queue at the polling station for hours to go and vote for Idebi Keke or to vote for free HSN? So when I hear people are saying NDC and for that matter John Mahama has won an elections and all that, I have very, very serious doubt with that, and that is why I have all confidence in the Brit that the MPP, not as a body corporate, but some top key members of the MPP have decided to take the matter to court, because the evidence is so glaring. Now, I don't think people of Ghana would have gone to the polling stations to go and vote for Idebi Keke when they had what we call a free education, presented to them. Okay. Yeah.
Now, I cannot resist the temptation to speak to a couple of the matters, so I'd ask you to indulge me and then let me address one or two issues.
That's okay.
First of all, I have here in my hand a document that shows you exactly when this petition of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and two others versus John Dramani Mahama and the Electoral Commission is going to be heard. Now, the date, if everybody would take a look at this, is the original court document. If everybody would take a look at it, you can see that, yes, notice of hearing to parties, and as you can see there, I'll try. Okay. I need to take it up a bit, and then if you look at it carefully, you see underneath it here, just about here, the date of the hearing has been put there clearly. Take notice that the date is Wednesday, 16th of January, 2013 at 9:30 a.m. for hearing. So finally, the Supreme Court has given a date for this matter to be heard. Now, for me, personally, these are my thoughts. One, first of all, the NPP did not have a case. That was number one. Any bunch of idiots could go to court.
Exactly.
We lacked an understanding of law, logic, and common sense. Then the case went to court. And then the case became a frivolous case, a laughable case, one that the Supreme Court would not even look at and would dismiss. And then the NBC wanted to go and join the case. A case that is frivolous, laughable, dismissive, has no legs to stand on, and all of that. Now they were fighting to join the case. Now, because we filed or because we opposed the sitting of a particular judge, we are trying to play delay tactics. But the man who wants to call 4,800 witnesses is not trying to play delay tactics. People of Ghana, it's time to get serious. Let's call a spade a spade. My thoughts on this. This is laughable. We're not children in Ghana. One point that strikes me, however, is this. If the case is frivolous, if the case is laughable, if the case is as silly as Asiedun Ketia and his cohorts wanted us to believe, why then will the NDC struggle so much to join it? Mr. Newton and Sly, my thoughts are that they think John Dramani Mahama is incompetent and selfish. Reason, he represents the interests of the NDC on that case.
Yeah.
He's representing the NDC on that case. So if the NDC are saying that they have to join the case, then it means they think John Mahama cannot handle the case.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's incompetent.
Yeah.
Again, selfishness. They think that when it gets to a point where he has to make a decision of the group's interest and his interest, John Dramani Mahama is likely to choose himself over the political party.
Yeah.
And then the propagandists think that they can deceive the entirety of Ghana and get them to believe that they are rather interested in the speedy resolution of this matter. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Freedom and justice still matters, and it will continue to matter. We'll take a break and come back. Welcome back to Minority Caucus. I've been discussing the matters with Mr. Sylvester Thete and Justice Abekio Newton. Newton, just 1 minute on the court case. That's
okay. From the response that John Mahama filed, we've been told that he's going to call in 4,800 witnesses. And I believe that is just a ploy to try and delay the tax. But they don't know that the court, the Supreme Court, under the Evidence Act, can choose to whittle down that number of people that he's seeking to bring before the court. And then secondly, there is something we call self-serving evidence. That's simply the situation where all those people will come and say the same thing. You understand? Then therefore, there wouldn't be the need for all those people to be entertained. And then thirdly, all those people, when they are presented to the court, they're going to be speaking under oath. And when you speak under oath and you are found to have been lying, you perjure yourself and you can go to prison.
Okay, Sly.
So, 4,800 people, definitely they will try and coach them. But at the end of the day, they will still go there and go and mess themselves up. And that 4,800 people, about 4,000 of them might end up at someone.
Okay. Sly, before you come in, let me announce the phone lines at this stage. You can join our discussions on 030-2211-70124. Let me repeat the number, 030-2211-70124. Sly.
One funny logic behind saying they are going to bring 4,800 people to the court, because we said they have blue pink sheets with evidence from 4,700 polling stations.
So
and so they also go one
person to come and
But this is laughable.
Incredible.
I mean, it's laughable.
Incredible.
You see, we are speaking, the evidence is on a pink sheet. The ESA should be speaking and answering for why this anomaly.
That's right.
It is not you.
And the thing I just, sorry to cut it, that thing is just figures. They are not voluminous documents that would need any interpretation.
But let me remind them of the Yana trial. They brought a lot of people. What happened to them? They embarrassed themselves in the dock. So I'm not seeing a different situation from this one. And I think it's laughable. For me, I said it before, that if some lawyers, radio lawyers of the NDC, are the people taking the president to court, then he should come and hire me. I'm not a lawyer, though, but I'll be better than these lawyers in court anyway. Trust me. Seriously, this is a serious... In the wisdom of the Supreme Court, even I don't see the Supreme Court allowing the NDC to join this case in the first place. Every other political party has an interest.
Yeah.
But I honestly, frankly disagree. Let them join.
No, for me, I don't have any problem. They can. But of course, in the wisdom of the Constitution, okay, any other party is interested. Yeah. Otherwise, we have said, let's just join or file. But why an individual should file? So for me, let's see how it plays. Some of us, we are law students very soon. So we'll be interested in this case, and we'll be going to court as well to follow this case.
Yet to be lawyer, so Mr. Tete and Mr. Justice Abeke Newton, thank you very much. I think that, you know, in all of this as well, the propaganda is becoming very, very interesting. It's interesting when you trace the line of development of the propaganda as well. First, we don't have a case, and then it becomes difficult. It turns into another matter, and then it becomes we lack logic.
Only idiots,
you know,
who go to court.
Okay. Nana Kwesi, I've been told, is on the line. So, welcome, Nana Kwesi. Hello. Nana Kwesi. Yes, sir. Can you start again? I didn't hear you.
I say I'm calling Nana Kwesi and congratulating you for your good work that you are doing.
By His grace, we thank you.
But I prefer that when first you are going to the court, I prefer that you put rates on the track. I got judges who were murdered during the PNDC era at the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And secondly, too, I'm congratulating you for your hard work. I've been trying for the past year to get your life. So today I was lucky that I'm the first person to call you. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.
We are grateful. We are very grateful for this call. Okay, Sly, you were on, but before I do that, let me pick Inusa from Bolga. Inusa.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you too, sir.
Yeah, let me say very good evening to Sylvester Tete. Very youthful guy who has impressed me this evening. In fact, the way he was talking, the passion that he has in him, this is the good material that Ningo Prampram needs to be voted to go to Parliament and represent them. In fact, this person today has made me, because I was hearing his name, just to see the kind of person that he is to contest with the Mugabe of Prampram. But rather unfortunately, the issue that he is bringing out shows that it's a good material, but yet people who think that they can use money to fool people, that they should vote for them to go to Parliament. Meanwhile, for good 16 years, my God, you have been in Parliament holding the high position in NDC. You couldn't even put a toilet facility for your community to just sit there and talk that they should. But I'm urging him next time he should have that ground and come to even Bolgatanga. We'll lead him and teach him how to keep the Mugabes out.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we have Tia from Nyanga. Tia, are you still on the line? Hello, I beg you, can you please reduce the volume on your television set, please?
Yeah, I think it's okay now.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah, Nana, I want to congratulate you very much.
Thank you, my son.
In fact, you are doing a very good job. I just wanted to ask this question. What happened to this argument that the president cannot be sued and that case that we are sending to court is going to end up nothing? What happened to that argument? Because I've not heard anybody talking about that again. Now I've seen that the other side, they are also preparing very seriously to meet us in court. I don't know what happened to the president. Is he no longer a president? Can we see him now?
Okay.
They have to explain to us. I want to hear from that.
Okay, we will try to answer that, but we'll now pick and let's call it Duba.
Hello.
Yes, boss. Can you please reduce the volume on your television set?
Okay, I've done that.
Okay.
Please, I want to contribute to the program.
Yes, senior.
You know, Ghanaians have been waiting for this free education. But it seems like because of what just happened, we couldn't get it. You know, it's a pity seeing somebody who is ready to go to school, do everything, and at the end of the day, the person is in the house crying, not because of what just happened.
Yeah.
So what I'm urging the entire MPP is that whatever they can, they should. And then with this number of evidence and other things they want to present at the court, I don't think it will hold. This time number of people, how are they going to even ask them one after the other? Is it possible? And then for the candidate for Ningo Prampram, I think it's good.
Thank you very much. But I have to move on. Mohammed from Nigeria. Mohammed, can you make it short for me?
Yes. Hi. How are you, Nana?
I'm very fine, my senior, and you?
Okay. Please, are you a Fanti?
Yes, I'm partially Fanti.
Okay. Oh, you're my idol. I want to be like you.
Thank you.
My name is Mohammed Mahi from Nigeria, so I want to be like you.
Okay, thank you very much for your admiration. It is God and it is the tutelage of my seniors, Nana Komia, and the gentleman that you see here. But thank you. I hope we can speak some more sometime.
Please,
for now,
can I get your number?
I would give that to you if you inbox me on Facebook. Thank you very, very much. But for now, we'll have to move on. I'll come back to the studio for, the wrap-up comments. You each have just about 25 seconds. Sylvester.
Well, let me take this opportunity to thank the young MPs elected on the ticket of the MPP. I'm very, very happy.
We have quite a number of them.
Quite a number of them, but I'm particularly happy for my brother Yakuba Kubari, Yusuf.
Yeah.
I'm particularly happy for him. Seriously, because
hardworking guy.
Yeah, very hardworking guy. He won election in a constituency where there's no electricity anywhere in the constituency. A master's degree holder from the UK, sleeping in the trenches. Oh, he's a fantastic young man.
Right,
I wish him very, very well. And then Titus Glover, my close pal.
Brilliant.
All right, let's go. Mr. Newton.
Well, one of our callers wanted to know why we've sued the president when there was information out there that he couldn't be sued. But it was, I said, there's people who were saying the president couldn't be sued and that we are idiots and all that. Forgetting that John Mahama contested the election as a flag bearer, but not as a president of Ghana.
Ignorance.
You understand? So he was sued in that capacity. And because they didn't know and they are not prepared to learn, they go out there and make all sorts of frivolous statements. At the end of the day, they tend to swallow back their words. We want to call them and say we're idiots. Now they are struggling to be idiots.
Okay.
I mean, it's incredible, my brother.
Struggling to be words that
idiots.
I do not want to mention at this particular point in time. Well, thank you very much for watching this show. It has been Minority Caucus. With me has been Mr. Sylvester Tete, NPP parliamentary candidate for Prampram, and Mr. Justice Abeku Newton of Fair. We've been discussing the political monetization and its effects on Ghanaian politics. Whatever it is that you do, please, please, and please, and please, remember, your life matters, you matter, everybody matters in this Ghana. Let us continue to pray for the development of this country, and it will be well with us one day. Thank you. My name is Nana Kofi Opondam. Until we meet again.